Hello, Boobalas. It's time for coffee talk. Do you want to learn how to make a coffee cake? Not coffee flavored, but coffee shaped. Stay tuned. You'll learn. So the first thing I am doing is choosing my cake board. These are cool cake boards. So half of it's gold, half of it's black. But for a coffee cup, I thought the black would look quite nice because I'm going to do a beautiful turquoise. Oh yeah, that'll look lovely together. So the first thing I need to do is obviously knead this so that it doesn't look so stodgy. And I'm going to be making the saucer first that the coffee is going to sit on. So I'm going to cut the circle for the saucer, and I don't have a cutter big enough, so I'm just going to use this bowl. I'm just hoping it doesn't stick because I want a nice big saucer. Okay, so obviously a saucer is not just flat. So now I'm going to be creating a lip on our saucer. As simple as this. Okay, so see how it's really soft, the fondant? So I'm going to have to add some Tylose to this to make it stronger and stiffer, because this isn't going to hold its shape, which really sucks because now we got to do it again. But okay, this is a miracle product. So Tylose, Wilton's. I add a little bit to the fondant, and then it is amazing because it'll harden it up and be a little bit stiffer. And I'm very haphazard about it. I just add. I'm like, some people may freak out that I'm doing that, but I just add a little bit to stiffen up the consistency of our fondant so that when we flip up the edges, it'll hopefully hold. Because this fondant is very soft. Okay, let's try this again. So what I'm doing is I'm making the edges thinner than the middle, so it looks more authentic. I did that. Now I found this, amazing cauldron. Yeah, I love Halloween. So I have this great container that we can drape this over for it to dry. So it's nice and round and big so that we should be able to get the same shape as the saucer. Look at that. It's a perfect fit. So yeah, always look around your house and see what you have. Like, you don't necessarily need fancy things. Just like, okay, that's about the same size. And then even as I look at this, like you can see it on here, I can probably go around and trim that because look at that. It's a little bit uneven there. So I'm going to, as skillfully as I can, go around and just even it out so that when it's dry, it'll be perfectly even on all sides. Okay, so here we go. Danger. And the beauty is that, you know, when you're done with this, you just pop it in the dishwasher. It's just like so easy. Nice, clean edge. So, can I do that over here? Do I need to do a little bit more? That looks a little uneven still to me. The other great thing about this fondant tool, it's plastic. It's not going to damage the thing you're cutting on either because it's just plastic, but it's nice and sharp. It cuts through fondant beautifully. It's my favorite tool. Okay, so there we go. There we go. Okay, so let's let that dry while we move on to building our cake. So we're doing a coffee cake. So what flavor am I going to do? Coffee, of course. So I'm actually doing a latte. So I decided to do a vanilla cake and then fill it with mocha ganache. And then I have a coffee chocolate Italian meringue buttercream for the outside. So we'll start with our little cake. Now this is a 4-inch cake and I'm going to sculpt it up. Now I do not use templates or anything like that. I just like make out of my head. So if you're more comfortable using a template, please do. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of that out and spread it around. Now I did my Italian meringue buttercream is chocolate and coffee, but I made it black, like a black coffee. So it's black coffee with the vanilla cake for a latte. That was my plan. Anyways, that's my plan, Stan. Okay, so I do a layer of that to seal the cake. And then I'm putting up the dam. The best dam you've ever seen. And then I have my homemade chocolate mocha ganache. And it's a little runny, but I like it that way. Because when you cut the cake, it kind of oozes out. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. And the dam will hold it in. So once you fill it, then obviously you pop everything into the freezer or into the fridge, whichever you prefer, for your buttercream to harden up. And then it will be good for you to start modeling with. Oh, I can smell the coffee. Now, I am not a coffee person. I don't drink coffee. I don't like it. Never have. Everyone that I know doesn't trust me because they think, what's wrong with you? How do you not like coffee? I never have liked it. I never got it as a kid. I just, wasn't an option. And the one time I tried it, it tasted burnt to me. So to all you other people out there that don't like coffee, unite. Yes, non-coffee lovers unite, because we are an anomaly. And there's a lot of people that just think I'm the strangest person ever. Okay. And okay, now I'm going to put this in the fridge so that it hardens up before I ice the sides, just because I don't want it to shift around, because I want a really nice straight and arrow mug. But when I do put it in the fridge, I'm going to keep it wrapped in cellophane just so it doesn't dry out, because we do not want a dry cake. Okay, I just got it out of the freezer to speed it up a little bit. It's not hard, but the buttercream is definitely hard. So now we can coat the rest. Now, obviously I'm going to sculpt it, but I want to cover everything first to make it nice and solid. And then I can carve off the pieces that I don't want. Ooh, love the black. So cool. So cool. Okay, so we've done our crumb coat for our little coffee mug, and I'll put it in the fridge to harden up, and then I'm going to sculpt away some of the sides. So we obviously don't want a cylindrical coffee mug, we need some tapered edges around the bottom. So I'm going to let that harden up first before I decide to cut away which parts to cut away. And again, I'll be eyeballing the shape of the mug. And then once it's carved, then we can put the final coat of buttercream on, then the fondant. Okay, so it's nice and frozen. And I'm just going to start carving away on the bottom to get that tapered edge on the mug. Okay, so I'll show you what I've done here. Just kind of carving it off the edges there. Make a nice rounded bottom. Obviously, I'm going to have to cover this with buttercream again, but that's okay. Okay, I just turned it on its side just so you can see what I'm doing. Just taking the buttercream and we're just going to fill in those. And because it's frozen, it's so much easier to deal with. And I can literally just squeeze the buttercream on and then reapply, making a nice round corner. And then I will, I put a little bit of buttercream on the bottom so when we stick it to the saucer, it'll stick. But it's got a really nice mug shape already, so I will finish that up. Oh, I don't want to lose all my buttercream on the side, but I just wanted to show you what I was doing there so you could see it. I will continue on. Okay, that is all the crevices filled in, and then now I'm going to show you a little trick. Okay, so the trick is you take your spatula, you run it under hot water, wipe off the water obviously, and then run it around your cake. The heat of the spatula will smooth out the bumpies. And then you've got a nice smooth base to put your fondant on. Okay, now we're going to cover the mug with our turquoise. And I'm going to flip the mug over and cover it from bottom to top, because that will give us a smoother finish than trying to do it any other way. And especially with the taper on the mug, it will be much easier to get that to come over. Now, is that going to be enough? Ooh, I don't know. I'm going to add a little bit more. Better to have more than less, especially when you've gone to all that trouble and then you roll it out and then all of the icing gets on it and you can't really use it. So yeah, always overshoot it. You'll be happier in the end. See that? That means I haven't kneaded it enough because the color is not consistent. So it can work to your advantage. Like if you're wanting something that has varying textures, then yeah, just pull your fondant out. Don't knead it very much. It'll kind of have a marbleized look to it. So you can certainly work that to your advantage if you're building something that has a distressed look or more rustic look. But it's a mug. We pretty much want it to look consistent all the way across. We don't want any crumbs in it. And it's always good to try and keep your circle a circle. It'll be much easier to apply onto the cake. Just so that you're, especially if you're doing a round shape. If you're doing a round shape, a round piece of fondant will make your life so much better. Oh, wayward crumb. Get out of there. So this will give us a little bit more. Plus it'll make it just a tad thicker. Which I don't like using thicker fondant on cakes, just because as little fondant as possible is your best bet. But I just want a really smooth structure. Let's see. Let me see where we're at. Okay, that's not bad. I might be able to get it just a tad thinner. Because when you put it over top of your cake, you just don't want it to tear. That might be a bit thin, but let's give it a go. Okay, so I am going to now put the glue on top. And we will use our little fondant smoother. And we just want to work down the sides a little bit at a time so that we don't get any of the folds or wrinkles in the fondant. And then it just hopefully will just go flat on the bottom. Really don't want to get any of the dark black fondant or buttercream on my fingers as I'm doing this, because I don't want it on the on this side of the fondant. Ah. You do have to work quickly, and man, I always get stressed at this point. I'm like, oh God, don't dry out, keep moving, keep wiggling down. Please don't mess up. If we have a not so clean edge, I'll show you what we can do to fix it. I think this is why I don't plan anything out. I just go and I do what the cake and fondant tells me to do. Because sometimes they truly are the boss and they have designs on what's going to happen. I always tamper down with this thing because I think it does help a bit. Just lock it down on the edge of the cake. See, that's a bit wonky there, but again, I'll show you how we can fix that. Well, that's a lovely shape. Okay, so now that'll look super awesome. Bright and cheery, good contrasting colors. Okay, I'm just using a little bit of water around the edges here. Okay, now I'm going to make a handle for the mug. We're going to cover up this seam here that we have from our border. And then, oh, please stay. We might need a few devices to hold this in place. Because we want it to be straight. I think this might be a tad too long. Just a little snippy there. And we'll taper this end so it fits nicely on the mug. What I often do is I'll find things that I can prop up against it to hold it into place. Like the water. There we go. That will hold that there. Okay, so while that's hardening up, I'm going to put a little sign on the front. So I just took one of my funky shaped cookie cutters, and just so you can see it. And then I'm going to stamp in, I'll try and do it here. I'm going to stamp in happy birthday with these cute little stamps. Hopefully I can get it nice and straight. Okay, so I think the handle is pretty secure. Just going to show you what I've done. Oh, he's getting soft. There he is, our little bug. Oh, he's so cute. So I'm going to pop him on. Let's see if our saucer is dry. So he's been sitting there for a few hours. Oh dear. Let's hope he comes off. Okay, we'll just wedge him off softly, gently. Ooh, there we go. Got a little saucer. Okay. Now I just want to like smooth these edges, but see how it's staying up? It's perfect. And we'll put our little coffee mug in there. You know, I might flatten it down a smidge because it's a bit small for our Mondo mug. Ugh. Need a little bit of icing to hold that guy in there. To hold our mug in place. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the fridge for a bit, and then I'm going to show you what I've got planned for here, because I think it's going to work quite well, because I really want to get that pattern that the baristas do. So I will be back in a sec. Okay, so for the coffee, the latte itself, what I've done is I've taken some Italian meringue buttercream and just microwaved it for a bit so that it's liquidy. And I'm going to just pour it on to make the foam latte bit. Okay, we'll let that ooze out a bit. It's got a nice gloss to it, so it looks like foam. Get it to the edges there. And because it's loose, it's kind of filling in the crevices there. Like so. And now I really wanted to make that the swirl that they do, that the baristas do. So I took a little bit of the Italian meringue buttercream and put some chocolate cocoa powder in, and then I am going to pipe this also. I also microwave this as well, so that's nice and soft. There we go. Okay. Now squeeze this down. It was a valiant attempt. But there we go. There's our little coffee latte birthday cake.